Cool, let's start then. Tell me a fun fact about you.
The fun fact about me. It's actually the only fun fact I always kind of tell,
Hmm.
which I probably need to change. That is, I do have 3 degrees, and people will be like, yeah, that kind of makes sense, whatever. But one of them is a film.
Oh,
So my first
hmm.
degree is film production from like one of the lesser, I mean, like Russia doesn't have this many film
Hmm.
schools. So it's just like we have a couple, and I studied in one of those. I have a whole degree, and like I worked in film before as well. I've made some movies as a film producer, and then at some point I was like, yeah, this is not for me, and I changed my career completely and went into tech. So but yeah, there was a time in my life when I was a film person, and I'm still kind of a film person. I watch
Hmm.
movies a lot. I'm still into that. I have the habit of like watching movies and analyzing them and reading things about movies. So it's like now it's a hobby,
Hmm.
but sometimes I'm thinking maybe when I'm like older or something, or like something is like I want a big
Hmm.
change, I might come back
Hmm.
to movie making. Yeah.
Interesting.
So this is the fun part.
Cool. That is so different from what you do right now. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's Yeah, no, it's okay. It's like that's why I'm the annoying friend who's like, if I go to the movies, then I'm like, I need to have a whole conversation with my friends. Like, so what do you think? What do you think about this scene? How do you think about the director?
Mhm.
What's happening? Blah blah. And then I have like a couple of days analyzing movies and reading things online and being like, why didn't I like it? Why everyone else liked this movie? What's happening? Is this reference? What's going on? So I'm very nerdy
Mhm.
in the movie space. And usually I just go along because I'm the annoying friend that's like, okay, what do you think? How about the lightning in this situation? So
Oh, that level of details?
the level of details, I'm
Mm.
like, have you seen the like how they move their eyes in this scene? Does it mean something? Maybe there is some hidden meaning. So I'm that person. Yes.
Cool. Super interesting to know. That's amazing.
Let's go, girl. Let's go. Like this, you're gonna be like, can you shut up? This is annoying. I don't understand what you're talking about. Why Tarkovsky reference? So yes.
Yeah, we should definitely go together to a movie. Definitely. Cool. Then, where are you from and what is your educational background?
Okay, so I am originally,
Hmm.
right? So I'm originally from Siberia in Russia. And it's not like a village or something because people think Siberia is like this snowy place, the tundra, whatever. It's not. It's a taiga thing. I'm from industrial big city, the capital of the region, more or less. Like like not the whole region, but part of it. And I've lived there for 17 years, moved to St. Petersburg, bigger Russian city, super far away because like Russia is giant. I studied there the film thing. And then when I was 20, I moved to Germany and got a tech degree from like Darmstadt, the tech, like one of the tech universities in Germany. And yeah, and then I started moving around with like the career and things like that. Kind of always stayed in AI. I was like at the end of my degree here in Germany, I was like, yeah, AI is the thing. I want to do something about it. And it was like super long time ago. People do not really like because like AI is such a big thing right now, right? But it was back in 2015. Yes. And I've been there before it was mainstream. So and I did my master thesis and about like all about AI, about recommendation systems, training models, thinking conceptually about products that would use AI to do something, right? And then I moved to like through different things, worked in corporate consulting, worked in corporate, just like corporate, moved to startups and scale ups. And now I'm working with startups and scale ups, and it's always in this product space, literally, just like because like all of the careers, all of the like positions, whatever I had, they were kind of they had all different names, right? Like transformation consultant or like AI blah, whatever. I was called the chatbot girl for a long time because it was yeah, I was just doing chatbots for all of the customers of the company for like a couple of years, right? So I was the chatbot girl, and I really hated chatbots, but I was the chatbot girl. And but what I'm essentially doing was product management, one way or another, right? And that's my background, and I'm staying in the background in this product space. But I think what also is not like different, but I belong to the tech product managers, the people that understand how tech works, that know how to code, understand how those things work in the background, understand architectures, blah blah. Because like the roles I had were actually like pretty technical in a lot of this. I've trained models myself. I worked in data, you know, the whole thing. So that's the background. Like 2015 was kind of already late to the party, I would say. It was already like a big buzzword back then. And I really do think that a lot of the things I've done, they didn't age well at all, right? Because like, the way we were building chatbots, it's not even a thing anymore, right? We just like access LLMs and just doing it with them. And we built like those other like regression models, use the intents, whatever, which would be like super archaic right now if you look at the what LLMs do, right? Like ChatGPTs and things like that. So yeah, so some things definitely didn't age well. A lot of them, I would say.
That's true. That's really true. And I see on LinkedIn that you have moved from a digital transformation assistant to a product manager and product lead, and in between there were a lot of roles in that. So, how was your journey so far? So, how was the corporate life for you?
It was a fight, to be honest. And like the thing is, I would definitely recommend people to go into corporate for a bit. Moreover, if you're just starting your career, I would definitely recommend people to go into corporate, but do it like with a very strategic approach. When I joined, I knew that I'm not going to stay longer than 3 years. So like I was joining this corporate consulting company, right? And I was like, okay, I'm staying 3 years. I want to have this many promotions. I want to have a project outside of Germany. I want to work on those topics. I want to learn this and this information. So I had a list of things why I went there and what was the point for me to go there. Because if you go without it, you will be eaten by the system. You will become part of the system and you will stop having hard skills, I would say. It's like consulting is very much blah, blah, blah job. And if you don't actively pursue hard skills, you would just become this like slide creator person. And I see how a lot of people stay in consulting because you can just talk and then let some other people do your job. And that's kind of a thing. And also consulting is very, like corporate in general. It's very political and you need to understand all the logic and whatever. But on the other hand, there is a lot of things that you can actually learn because those companies would not survive for so many years. Like usually those companies are like super old, been on the market forever. And you learn the processes, you learn the standards, you learn how the businesses run, you learn all of the relationships, you learn how to make decisions, you learn like the hierarchies and whatever. So you kind of go into super classic like academic school of corporate, of how to do a career. And for me, the other thing was going to consulting is just like having like a panorama view of German businesses. So I can be like, okay, this is the business I don't want to be part of. This is the company I don't want to be working with. And this is the industry that I actually like and enjoy and want to stay longer in, right? That was kind of the thing for me in corporate consulting where I was like, okay, we're doing AI, but we're doing AI in this million different industries. So how do we do it correctly? What are the things? But still, it's like, it's a very hard job because you work 80 hours a week, maybe even more. And it's like very competitive, super sexist, of course. And even like, I would say not just sexist, but also racist, also elitist, also like all of the bad things, they're there, 100%. Those companies are run by white men. And even the people of color are turning into those like a white guy, kind of like a symbol, and behave the same way. So it's a very toxic place. That's why you need to be super aware of what you're doing there and why you're there and what's happening. And like for me, it was exactly that. So I've learned a ton, and I'm actually very grateful that I had the chance to even do that. But I fought every promotion I fought every product. I fought for everything. Like nothing was given for free, and a lot of the things were like people who would kind of like stay above you because of their like they were like lead of whatever. They will take credit for what you're doing because you just like this little I don't know who minion that does their job. So like all of the things you just need to be aware of it and like become the corporate shark already. It's like because I see a lot of people and I was there as well come in, they're super naive and they're like, oh my god, this is my career, I'm the corporate girly. Nah, girl, you can be a corporate girly, you can enjoy it. I was the corporate girly. I went out with a burnout, right? And like the burnout took a really really big toll, and but also learned a lot. It's not like I'm saying it was bad. Everything was good. Everything had a reason and purpose and blah and mission. And I would not change it for even something else because a lot of the skills I have now, and I would rather say mostly like soft skills. And yeah, so this was the project. It's all about figuring out how to apply AI to a business case, make a company more productive, more effective, maybe create some kind of chatbots for like HR cases or like a sales chatbot to know like to help out the customer support. Or we had projects where you would need to use AI translation tool that we've built to like help out in some areas with like delivering stuff or like logistics. We did a lot of things in life sciences and like pharmaceuticals and things like that, like some kind of predictive stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true. And I see that you have taken your break in between after you are done with the corporate life.
Yes.
So, how was it? Would you recommend this to other people as well who wants to take it now, for example?
I would say um like yes, but you need to understand like what's happening generally, if you can deal with this career break, what's happening during this career break, if you can like I don't know, buy groceries and things like that, because I've exited with a lot of money in my account. And I know that I can do absolutely whatever I want for at least a year without even thinking about some money problem or anything else. But that's like the number one. Number two, I actually had a burnout. I was diagnosed, I went into therapy, and like for me it was the year where like it was kind of supernatural in a way. Like I mean I like maybe authentic way for me to do things because this I took this time to recover from the enormous pressure of consulting and like this neglect you go there and like the you need to do you need to go like very much against a lot of values you have as a human being. Like it definitely has a toll on everything you do. So like for me it was just the year of like not stressing out, not having panic attacks anymore, because like I would have a panic attack opening my Outlook or like my email something. I would just literally have a like the moment I hear the noise like beep, beep, there would be a panic attack. Like it was really that bad. And so, like the burnout in corporate is like the most unfortunately normal thing, right? Sorry, but like that's literally what happens. Like you're gonna get used as a new employee, and then you develop this like armor, like a thicker skin, and then you're like, okay, I'm not letting people do that anymore, right? But it's a school of life. You need to do that. And some people have it in one area, some in others,
Hmm.
but like this. And also, like, I took a break in a really good time because it was COVID. I literally, my break was during COVID, and the world didn't care. And it was like before the whole crisis thing, before the giant layoffs, before everything else. So at least it was this kind of time of like lesser crisis thing where we still like because life after COVID is so very much different that the life before seems like unicorns and butterflies. So we had a good life. And it was this nice time when, like, yeah, everyone was talking about sabbaticals, everyone was talking about like going to different countries and enjoying life, blah blah blah, kind of that vibe. And that was easy for me to take this step. I didn't even think twice. I was like, okay, I need to quit my job, I need to go to therapy, I need to recover, I need to get my health back, blah blah. And this is what I did. So if someone is considering to do that now in 2025, I would still tell them to do that, but just have some kind of, I don't know, have a plan, right? Because like I do have a couple of friends that are considering, but they all considering in a way that they would have a shorter sabbatical, not like 12 months, but maybe like 3 or 6, and they would already have something lined up. So they would just, let's say, go out, find a job that they can start in 3 months, or maybe like 6 months, or find a project, find a gig, something else. So it's not like, because when I went out, I didn't care. It was like, oh, I have money, I'm fine, I can take care of myself, I'm good. And the world wasn't COVID, right? The world was in isolation. You just sit inside trying to understand what is happening, like how not to die, right? And now it's not the case. Like, we're in recession, things are different, we have layoffs, companies are not hiring, the competition is fierce, a lot of people going into some kind of gig economy. So it's a very different time to make a decision like this. So just, I would say, do not do it the way I did, because I was, kind of like winging it. I would be very much planning for the next 6 to 12 months, and then be like, okay, this is what I want to do, this is what's happening, da 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 da.
Yeah, yeah, I think it definitely makes sense to understand the market, the timings, and everything to take such a decision. And also, of course, it affects your financial
Yeah,
conditions.
and also,
So,
like, you need to be able to explain it on your CV, and because
mhm,
the times are hard, I would even say, like, plan to do it in like summer, because people take long
mhm.
vacations, right? You need to put it on your CV. You can be like, da da da, I had like a long holidays or something, whatever. So things like that I would do.
Yeah, summer break is a good idea
Yeah, or
for
maybe like,
sure.
like the beginning of the year, like January, and then until summer. Like, yeah, I started the new year, I've did these things to do, and starting a new job or new project or new something in summer.
Yeah, yeah, definitely makes sense. And then I see you have
Yeah.
created your own company. You have started that. How was it? Why did you decide it?
I mean, it was like a solopreneurship thing at first. So it was like
Hmm.
2020. Well, actually, no. So the story is, when I was in my sabbatical thingy, my friends knew that I'm working in those spaces and the way I think, blah, blah. So, like, they were not even like friends, like people from my network. And they would come back to me and be like, do you do like consulting? Do you do gigs? And I'm like, not really. I'm in sabbatical. I'm enjoying my life. They're like, yeah, but we would like someone with your skill set to help us out with this project. And I'm like, okay, let's try to do that. And I've done it once, and then there was another one coming, and like, but it was kind of still very much in my own timeline. It wasn't like for me needing to go and like find someone to pay me. It was more like I've been invited to places, and I've started doing this like solopreneurship, solo consulting thing. And it was still consulting in product space, helping companies to like figure out their product, what they're building, product positioning, features, whatever. And that was kind of the first thing. So I then just registered it as a single consultant and like a freelancer. And yeah, just like started to like go into the space. And then it worked for a bit. What I figured out is I cannot scale it, right? Because like I'm alone. And that's the whole thing of any type of solopreneurship. Depending on what you do, you cannot scale beyond yourself, right? And you cannot also really like offer high quality if it's not you, right? If it's not you, the person with the skill set and everything, because people buying your expertise, right? And it's actually still a big issue. It's still a big problem. I'm still like figuring that part out. And it's been about like 3 years now, maybe even 4. Yeah, probably even 4. Where like I'm still trying to figure out how to scale myself because like it's not that easy, and it's like there's a lot of reasons behind it. But yeah, so I did that, and then I wanted to do some kind of like I figured out that a lot of first-time founders, they don't have access to like tech expertise and product expertise and things like that, but it's very crucial and important and helps a lot. And this was the place when I started working with like incubators, accelerators, the place we've met as well. I was like, yeah, maybe I can go there and see how things are working. And this is when I started working with like Founders Institute, with SEEP, with other companies, just like doing this mentoring thing on the side while I was in parallel creating this. I did this idea, or I had this idea for like a founders boot camp. And the idea is cool, but the thing is, what I didn't realize is that first-time founders really don't have that much money, and they would prioritize this type of, because like in my biased view, that was like one of the most important skills, and but like people didn't know that it was one of the most important skills, right? So I didn't do the educate your customer part, or like educate your user. And it was also kind of not, I still think it's a good idea. I still think there's something in this, but there needs to be another form how you can deliver on this gap, right? Because I still see, I mean, like there's a whole business of like incubators, accelerators, and people go there for exactly that reason, because they don't have the expertise and they want to have access to this expertise. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that. Maybe I'll do this boot camp. And I did like a pilot version. I found people that would pay for like, I made like prices like super low just to see what's happening. And it was good. People liked it. But again, it was something where like it would be a nice to have and not must have, right? And the economy was already going into this spiral of like we're surviving COVID and what's going to happen. So in places like this, or like in recession, or these times like this, only the most important projects and products are being bought. That was nice to have, is being left for the better times. And that was kind of the thing where I was like, okay, so my first learning there was you need to really figure out the market even better. Like, you know, I know it in like if I work for another company, but like when you start to develop your own little product, you are biased. But there was actually a lot of learning there, and this is what I even like teach now and mentor with the same mindset, being like, okay, this is what's happening, right? And another thing I've realized, that you need another person. Like you cannot scale alone. And also as a female founder, like a solo entrepreneur or something else, you have no freaking chance. Like, I mean, you do have a chance, but it's like super low, right? And I'm not saying no one can do it. If you have a lot more charisma or something else, or like you can consistently go and fight all of the battles, do it. But for me, it was no. I actually need a co-founder. I need a male co-founder. I need someone who's German. I need all of those things. I need like a Trojan horse. But it was kind of the thing. So the whole entrepreneurship, the whole founding something, creating my own company, whatever. It's not even my own company as a company that I hire people to work for me. It's just literally me, or like sometimes my co-founder. It's my ideas. I'm still in this whole consulting space. But I'm definitely doing way better. I've learned a lot of things. I'm still like, I figure out what I can do better in what roles, how many days a week, what do I want to deliver, what's going on, you know, kind of like in this space. Like I also did workshops, actually. I forgot. There was a time when I was just doing workshops. Like, I was like, okay, so if this boot camp is not working, maybe I can do workshops. So I've created like a series of workshops. And I'm still actually doing them, but I'm always updating, literally. There is like, I've done a new workshop in a new space. I got feedback. I've put it in. I was like, okay, so this is this, blah, blah, blah. So like I have a list of workshops. I don't know how many, maybe like 10 to 12 different ones that I know I can do, and I know they work, and I did them in the corporations as well. Some kind of like user research. I've done user experience stuff. I've done QA. I've done coding. I've done solution engineering. I've done marketing. I've done growth. I've done the product. So it's a whole thing. So that's why I'm saying I'm the full stack product manager. It's like I do the whole thing, right? And that's also that's like that's literally like the what I've learned, right? The biggest lesson is that because I can do those things, I've made a system in my own mind. What do I do when I join companies? What is the thing I'm bringing? So I'm trying to now, it's like kind of going back to like, how do I scale myself? I'm trying to build a system where this is possible now with like maybe frameworks or the way I work or something else, but it's always a search. It's not like you start your own company and then you reach and famous and whatever. It's never ending story. And I would definitely not recommend people start their own companies. This is stupid. And you need to understand the advantages and disadvantages of this. So it's a thing.
Yeah, but you did the whole thing, like from
Yeah.
sales to product management to marketing to everything, like literally. So, what is the difference do you think about product management and product owner?
So, like I actually, if someone calls me a product owner, I get offended because like I'm not a product owner, I'm a product manager, and I do have I do see the distinction in there, and I know it's a whole give conversation or chicken and the egg or whatever, but like if you actually look into the framework of agile, where product owner comes from, and I know the job or like the career of product manager kind of comes from there as well, so it's like chicken and the egg conversation. Product owners do one shit, like one thing. They make stupid tickets. That's what they do. Like if you actually look into the system, yes, they talk to the users and they create those tickets from the perspective of the
Hmm.
user, and like they run some things, whatever. And there's the Scrum Master who does the other part, and there's something. So it's like it's not really strategic role. It's a literal operations. Product owners. That's why I'm calling them like PO. These are product operationalists, operators, whatever. So it's literal ops. There's a space of product that's called product operations, and it's all about this operationalizing processes and things within product delivery, right? And like discovery and things like that. And I'm not saying it's a very important role, very important field, and I'm super happy that it's been developed, and I know great people in there. But like I'm not that. I'm a manager. I'm a product manager. I'm a product, not even that. I'm a product lead. I'm a product expert. I'm always having issues with like calling myself in all these ways because I'm doing interim CPO roles for companies. I'm product lead. I'm doing strategic stuff. So like I'm actually like undoing the chaos more or less. When I join companies, I'm undoing the chaos. I'm coming in, I'm bringing the product thinking, product knowledge, product expertise. I'm helping with literally everything. So I'm not just in the product space. My posts and my whatever, they're everywhere. I start with marketing, growth, product, tech, leadership, communication, customer success, sales engineering. It's everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's a good difference.
That's what, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Product management is all those things. It's about enablement, right? Like product should be in the middle of the company if it's a product company, it's a software company. And if the product is done right, then you would enable great engineering. You would enable great customer success, great
Hmm.
solution engineering or like sales engineering. You would enable just great sales. You would enable good culture within the company. It's all about the product. And if the product is done incorrectly or in some kind of stupid way, it's a chaos, right? My opinion is product owners are different from product managers. Managers doing strategic stuff, owners doing operational stuff. That's the distinction. That's it.
And I see that you have you started mentoring, and how is the mentoring journey for you? And have you seen any specific problems which people face, whom you mentor normally?
And it's always like this, actually. And it's a good thing, right? Like if you don't have a mentor who comes in and telling you this is how it's done,
Mhm.
and they're also struggling with you, change the mentor, right? And go for find someone else. But yeah, no, I think like mentor is something that I enjoy the most, to be honest, because it's very rewarding, and you see like what I love about mentoring, and also if like the relationship is built right. I love when like we met, I was the mentor, right? And I love that you done stuff that I told you to do. I was like, oh my God, for real? And also I see it works, right? It's not like I just like people to do stuff to like do the stuff I tell them to do. It's not about this. It's more about, okay, so this is how I
Mhm.
would solve the issue. And people try this method and it actually works and they get results and you're like, huh, okay, interesting. Wow. So like mentoring is the most fun and also the most rewarding for sure. And also like I love to see those like shiny bright eyes looking at me being like, okay, tell us. Like you have those people that really need help, and it's not about the ego anymore. It's not about anything else. It's about the process of co-creation, and people need people, right? And if I come to companies as a consultant, you're still seen as a consultant. So there's this kind of like commercial idea behind it when they're like, yeah, we're paying you to tell us all of those things, which is true and which is great as well if they pay you well. And then the mentoring is more like, because mentoring is usually free or like cheaper or like way cheaper. And it's all about just making sure that people do the right thing and they don't make the mistakes you did. And I can't even like remember like a special time, but it's usually always the case where like I come in, people ask me a question, I'm like, okay, here's how you solve it. And they're like, no way, for real? You're like, yeah. And they're like, and then they try it and like, and I'm not sure. It's like it's just about the way to how to think, because I think mentoring is generally about trying to like reflect back to people that they have biases. And I think one of the like most humbling thing for a mentor or whoever is to also understand that you have biases as well, right? I'm always saying I'm the shoemaker without the shoes, because like I can see everyone, like I can help them with their shoes, everyone around me walking in the most beautiful shoes ever, and I'm there like barefoot, because like I have my own biases and I cannot apply a lot of things I'm saying to myself, because I'm like, maybe this and that. So even I have mentors, like, and I go to people and be like, can you tell me, right? So, and I think it's about that. It's about like people get stuck in their thinking, in many cases in their overthinking, in many cases in their like the way they've learned how things are supposed to be, and they expect the things to work the way it worked before. And mentoring is just about coming in and being like, yeah, by the way, you're not in this environment anymore. You're in a very different environment and you need to do things differently. And this is how you should do them, right? Yeah, so for me, it's about that. It's like about inspiring and about making sure people have access. And I mean, like, we can even talk about like your experience, right? Like, I was your mentor. So, how was it? Did you learn something, or you're like, that woman doesn't know shit?
No, actually, it was really, really amazing having you as a mentor, because we were really struggling to
Yeah.
figure out where we stand exactly with Roboticos. And we were thinking that it is a more of a financial calculation for automation. But we figured after talking to you that
Yeah.
we stand in a automation planning phase, then a financial calculation. So,
Yeah.
yeah, all thanks to you. We were, after that, we had a very good discussion with a lot
Yeah.
of people,
I remember.
and it
Yeah.
was easy to tell people what we do. So, yeah, thanks to you for making it happen.
Thank you. I feel appreciated.
You pushed us in the right direction for sure.
See, just like that's what I'm saying. It's like this getting people out of their hats into a different space and be like, oh, this is what it is. And this is literally what happens. Like, you probably remember I was asking, like, what your product is about. They like
Yeah.
starting telling me like a story, and I'm like, put it in a sentence. And they put it in a sentence. I'm like, nah, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, your product is actually this. And I remember talking to someone, and she was like, yeah, our product is for these like kids and something. I'm like, no, your product is for mothers. And I remember her being like, what? She's just, what just happened? I'm like, kids don't have money to buy your shit. Kids have mothers, and mothers make decisions for kids. So, and she was like, no way, it's insane. And they literally moved into like attracting parents and doing those things with, and but I remember she was like, what? Just like literally going, this is not real. Like, what is happening here? And this kind of the vibe of like doing product mentorship. And if you like actually know, and you like, I know I sound like I'm super passionate about product, and I probably am passionate about product, but I think my strong side here is that I really don't give a flying fuck. Like, I don't care. I'm so detached from products and whatever. For me, it's not about the products. For me, it's about systems and applying this systemic knowledge to whatever you're doing and making it right, right? So like, whatever you're building, super happy for you, do it, right? It's not about that. It's more about knowing how to make sure that whatever you're building is landing and attracting the right people and actually developing in the right direction and being developed in the right space. So it's like kind of like keeping it healthy through building a healthy system. So for me, it's about that. It's literally building a healthy system that supports the health of the system. And that's it, right? That's about, yeah. So thank you for the feedback. That's a cute feedback. I love it.
Yeah, you literally picked us up from one place and put us in the right place. So yeah, true.
Like move somewhere else, be like, okay, go there. Yeah, but also like I can literally give an example that happened last week. I have this friend. She's very much also like clear thinker, but in her own way. And I'm struggling with finding mentors for myself because like I don't trust people. And I have this like high level of standard. And if someone is telling some kind of bullshit, I'm like, nope, right off. Right? I mean, that's my personal issues, but like she's one of the people I trust. She's my friend as well. And I was like, do you have like 4 hours of your life? Can we meet? I'm buying you food. I'm like doing whatever. And like, I want you to mentor me. Like, I want you to look into my whatever I'm saying and tell me what's wrong, because like I'm stuck. I'm lost. I don't know what's happening. Like, I'm so deep in my own bias. And we went to like a coffee place, like a work thingy, co-working space. And I was just like typing the whole thing. I started telling her literally what's happening with me, right? I was like, here's this and that, and here's my strengths, and here's my weakness, and here's what's happening, and here's what I do, da da da. And she was like asking me questions. Like the whole thing just started moving. And I was sitting there being like, why did I never thought of those things? Right? I was sitting there being like, that's so obvious. It's like so, I don't even know how to describe it. I was sitting there being like, this is insane. Like, it's literally, I mean, like, it was super good advice. I'm acting on it, right? I'm building a system, I get, because like as about the systems for me, based on what she gave me as a feedback. And like in a lot of spaces, she was like, dude, I want to kick you. Like, why don't you do that? You know, it's like, I'm like, I have 10 years of experience in AI. And she's like, why no one knows about it? Why didn't I know about it? What's going on? And I'm like, I don't know. It's just like, it's not that relevant to me. And she's like, are you kidding me? This is literally the space right now. And I'm like, huh? Nah. I mean, yeah, everyone talks about AI, but like whatever, it's just buzzwords, and like I actually know how to do shit. And she's like, I want to kick you. And I'm sitting there being like, exactly, that's how I feel about the people I mentor. Like, in a lot of cases, I'm like, I really want to kick you because you're missing out on this opportunity, which is like super obvious,
Mhm.
and you're so blind to it. And yeah, so like I was like, yeah, okay, this is fun. This is fun to have a friend like this. And I'm actually meeting with her after, and she actually texted me. She was like, so how was the week? Like, we had this session last week. Like, what's happening? Are you working on this? I'm like, yeah, actually, yes, girl, I'm working on it. And I'm not doing exactly what she said, but like I'm putting a lot of the feedback
Mhm.
into the things I'm doing. And I'm like, okay, that actually shapes up into something I can actually do, right? And we all need a mentor like this. We
Mhm.
all need someone, and like even me, you telling I'm coming in, picking you up, bringing you in different space. Literally, this happened to me as well.
Mhm.
She came in, she was like, okay, I'm gonna pick you up, put you in a different space. Think here.
Mhm.
I'll come and check on you in a week.
Uh-huh. That's nice to have such friend.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. Absolutely, like
Mhm.
one of the best for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. So, what do you think are the common challenges for a tech founder in a startup? What are your thoughts?
Ooh, that's a good one. Um, I think they're taking too much of task on themselves, because like there's also like early stage or not early stage, and I understand if you're just the only founder and like there's only like the founder's team and there's no team hired people, right? You kind of need to do everything. But like the moment you have money and the moment you can hire people, they really all have this disease of not giving up the tasks. Or they still trying to like keep the control in one way or another. And it's not even micromanagement, because like a lot of people, it's not micromanagement. It's just like this stupid habit you developed so you can get to a point when you can get money and you can be taken seriously and blah blah, and you can have enough money to hire people because people are expensive, right? Right, like there's this habit of being inside every decision, and this slows down the company actually quite bad, like bad, I would say. Even I don't want to say the word bad, but it kind of is. So like that's probably one of the most common things and like common problem I see from a perspective of like they're just trying to keep everything afloat and like put themselves into every decision. And it's not about not having trust or like trying to micromanage or something. It's not about that. It's just like it's this habit. So founders become bottlenecks, and then the company is just like struggling through that. Also, I think a lot of founders do not ask for help, or like trying to kind of figure it out, trying to wing it in a lot of spaces, which is also like it's a good skill to wing it, but like the moment you're on the market, it's really hard to wing things sometimes. You actually need to be more systemic again, right? You need to like actually build things. You need to build the machine that would deliver things and blah blah. So it's like it's kind of like finding this balance between still being flexible but also trying to get into the system. And like the moment you're in the system, you need to also become part of the system. You need to have your own system. Another thing I see is founders chasing all the audiences at once. Like, oh, let's do this and that and this use case and blah 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 blah. Yeah, okay, try to do that, but like no one, and like it kind of stops them from delivering high quality end-to-end experience of the product to one group and kind of grow it, right? So I see this happening as well. So like where it's not about even like product positioning, because it's a whole new conversation, and like you can change your product positioning throughout, like not completely but like adjust it because the market is changing. Maybe you got some feedback and something else changed. Like we see how companies starting with like producing, I don't know, plates, and then moving into producing phones or something. So like we see it happening all the time. It's like kind of diversification, whatever. But it's more about kind of not thinking about, or it's this chase of like kind of chasing the high, like getting more and more cool things because the things that you already achieved is boring. And those kind of things, like inability to do boring stuff, is sometimes a problem as well. But it's not like something you cannot deal with. It's more about making the boring less boring, making it interesting, trying to build it into some kind of system again, or like make it operational. What I also see is people actually use data incorrectly, meaning they're like, yeah, we're data driven. And when you ask questions, how you collect the data, how do you validate the data, how do you connect the dots together, what is the causation and correlation and all of these things, they don't know what it is. And I think that's also like an issue, because working with data should be very precise. And I think people kind of lose on this point a lot and create experiments that actually bring wrong results, and then they're trying to do something else. So like the whole data problem is, I'm being very particular about it. And when I come to companies and they're like, yeah, we have mixed panel and everything is in mixed panel, I go in and I'm like, oh my God, this is a mess. So like, so it's a way of like, it's not about like disrespect of data, but it's just not understanding the depth of actual complexity. Because like, I come from data, like in my master's degree, whatever, it was all about data driven. And I remember crying in the night learning things and like being like, why is it so? And like, ask anyone who does a PhD or any type of statistic research, this shit needs to be precise. Otherwise, it's not working. Otherwise, the prediction is not predicting correctly. All of these things. So like, there's a lot of different challenges that happen for different reasons. But these are probably the ones where I'm like, okay, this we need to change. And also maybe like, that's all kind of connected together, right? Like the not wanting to do some boring stuff and chasing all of the audiences and being in every decision. And it's all about missing the clarity. Like I even started talking about it all the time. It's just like, it's like you said, like I came in and you've been clear after. You're like, this is what we're doing. So like this missing the clarity of what are you actually doing? What's your product? What are you trying to do? And if you don't have the clarity, or if you're not clear, like you cannot really clearly communicate it to the outside. You cannot clearly communicate it to the inside, to your team. You cannot clearly communicate it to whoever is listening. And you cannot clearly follow it, because if you don't know what you're building, you cannot build an experiment based on data that can actually be statistically significant, that will help you make a decision, right? So like this whole lack of clarity, which is not a bad thing. It's just the founders have a lot of other things they have on their mind all the time. And this losing of not even maybe focus, but like, maybe focus is what's happening a lot. And the problem is that also they don't see it. I mean, I'm the same, like I'm the one to talk, right? But I have the same issues. Like sometimes I'm like, okay, what am I actually doing, right? Like I'm trying to do those check-ins with myself, and I'm like, okay, am I clear on what I'm doing? And I'm changing things again and again. And I'm like, okay, so let's do that. So keeping the clarity is definitely the challenge, 100%.
Yeah, that's true. So, my last question to you is, what do you say about product market fit? Um,
Girl.
for someone who is struggling with product market fit, what do you suggest to them? What they should do? Stage is yours.
Oh, girl. Product market fit as a whole thing as well. I have opinions, and it's like, it's the same as product owner. Like, this is a whole thing. Product market fit. The first thing, stop chasing it. Because like, this is the thing that like venture capital tells you, everyone tells you, this is the buzzword that you see every day. And it was like, yeah, product market fit, blah, blah. Forget about it. Literally, get it out of your hat and put your hat into something else. Like understanding the user, understanding the market, understanding the clarity of what you're building, things like that. First, figure out, do you have the solution for the problem? And the way you do the solution, is it what people want on the market? It's not about like product market, whatever. Figure out the actual problem you're solving. And the way, I mean, like at the end, your product is how you solve the problem, which is probably different from whatever's currently on the market, right? So first, figure out that part. Understand the how. Forget about chasing product market fit. Forget the PMF, like delete it from your mind for a while. This is like the most important bit. Uh, Understand, like start talking to people, start seeing if you have any type of organic growth anywhere. Meaning you're not putting all of the output to get all of the input, right? So it's like organic growth, it's all about people coming to you authentically, organically, without you chasing them. It can be an ad, it can be something else, but it's more of like people finding you, right? And see if the organic growth happens in some area, look into that. Like focus on that part and try to ask for money there. If organic growth happens and people actually willing to give you money, go into the space and be like, okay, something is happening here. Start talking to those people. Start doing user interviews. Start being like, okay, so why do you here? Why are you here? Why did you find us? Why do you want to pay me money for this thing? What is happening, right? Okay, then see if you can actually scale that part. Like if you can grow it in one way or another, let's say you get some feature requests or things like that. So you can see that maybe in the next 12 months, it will be very much possible for you to maintain this kind of level of something like the product or like revenue or something else, or maybe even grow it. Because I hear a lot of like, what's just one of the mentoring things I've heard, someone was saying, we have 5 recurrent customers and this is the early sign of product market fit. And I'm like, no, it's not. Because 5 recurrent customers, yeah. And this was like, they recurred in like a month or two. And this company is not selling an original product. They're reselling someone else's thing. And I'm like, you literally just showing that the market has interest, but it's not product market fit. Because product market fit for me, like for me personally, how I see it, if in 12 months you able to retain those people, it doesn't matter if it's a monthly payment or like a yearly payment, it will depend. But if you're capable, yes, if you're capable of retaining a paying customer for 12 months and they rebought you for another year, this is potentially product market fit if you have 100 of those people. Yes, then it might work. But also, it's also a thing of calculation, because if those people pay you €5 a year and you have 100, it's 500 euros. It's not even a revenue. It's some bullshit. So like figure out your pricing, figure out all of the things, figure out how much money you spend. So like product market fit is not just about you bringing the product on the market and people finding it fitting. It's more complex. It's about you keeping yourself on the market. It's about you being able to maintain yourself on the market, about you being able to grow, you being able to fight the competitors, you being able to diversify. It's like, it's all about that. It's not just, I don't know, 5 recurrent customers. So people do not understand the depths of product market fit, and it's all over the place. And I'm like, no, don't do that. So it's like, define what your retainment policy should be. Like, okay, like if after 12 months you can retain those users, freaking great, then figure something else out. Product market fit for me as well is the ability for you to get high quality feedback from those users that come to you, because like product market fit in a way where market is also enjoying the product and is capable of giving you good feedback, so you can incorporate it and grow more and more and grow with the market. And market is not 5 people. Market is a segment of whatever, right? So it's at least 10,000 people, or maybe even more. It doesn't matter. Like, it's, I mean, like, it's very crazily sad. Like, it might be only 5 customers, but if they all pay you €1 million, freaking great, congratulations. Maybe it's a product market fit. So it's like, stop chasing it, focus on your users, focus on this whole problem you're solving. So focus on how you solve the problem, focus on high quality feedback, and focus on retaining and maintaining for at least 12 months. Maybe growing if you can in parallel and acquiring more, and not being kicked off the market in like 12 months because someone else is coming, because markets are aggressive. Even if like in 12 months something good happened and you're able to retain, someone else comes in from the side kicking you in the ribs and you off the market, it's not a product market fit. It's not. You're able to stay in the market if you fit the freaking market, right? I'm always saying, unfortunately, stupid Facebook is product market fit because the company is in so much shit, like literally, morally, any type of value, corruption, whatever, brosphere, blah blah. Yes, but they lost their young audience and they replaced it with the old one, and they still
Mm.
keep doing this. They still keep growing. They still maintain a really big chunk of the market. So, unfortunately, this is a really good example of stupid product market fit because no matter what, you're not that easily shaken off the market. We have Instagram, we have other things. They just bought Instagram, right?
Mm.
Like, this is the product market fit, love, not five retaining customers. And like, this is a whole thing for me. And I'm like, if someone comes to me with product market fit, I want to kick them. I want to be like, okay, let's have a real conversation. This is what's done. And yeah, so do that. Forget product market fit. Figure, like, be obsessed with your customer. Literally, that's your product market. Yes, be obsessed with your
Yeah.
customer. That's what Amazon did. Also, super bad example. Super nice product market fit, but those people survive, right? So be obsessed with your customer and do not be obsessed with yourself. This is another thing. Yeah, so this would be the way to deal with this for sure.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. A lot of things which you mentioned. I think people should follow that. And thank you so much for being the part of this podcast. I'm super
Also,
happy to have you. And yeah, it's just like amazing feedback which you gave. I think a lot of people will get
thank you.
benefit out of it. So yeah, thank you so much.
Sure, girl. You know what they say is, if you get it over the fourth episode, you already like 20%, and if you get it,
This is
hey,
the fourth episode.
girl, that's the vibe, right? Keep going. And also they say if you get over 21st episode, then you on top of the 10% of people that do it. So it's about consistency. It's not about, like, yes, it's about feedback, it's about other things, but it's about consistency. So I'm telling you, keep doing it, keep putting it out, keep inviting people, keep doing what you're doing, because the moment you are behind the 21 episode, this is where the doors are open, because you need to work yourself up there. So do it this way. Let the doors be open after the 21st episode, and do not give up. Be consistent, please.
Sure, sure. For sure.
I need to run.
Yeah.
Love it. Thanks for inviting me. Let me know about the details, whatever. We can chat and enjoy your weekend. It's Friday, girl.